Okay, everyone, so I have a list of 11 items that I had once purchased on a regular basis, but I no longer purchase them in order to keep our budget down. So let's get into these 11 items. The first item is garbage bags. Normally, I would buy a box of 13-gallon garbage bags, which costed between $7 and $8. It came with like 40 in a bag or so. But when we had to tighten up our budget, I had to find things to eliminate. So garbage bags were one of them. I thought what I could do is take the plastic bags you get from the grocery store that they bag your food in and use those as garbage bags. So you could line them in a small garbage can and just toss it in your garbage daily. So what I do, I use one a day, and then at the end of the day I have a bigger garbage bucket that I just toss them into or just take them out to our garbage can. So that's what I do. I no longer buy boxes of garbage bags. The next item I no longer buy is basically multiple cleaning solutions. I used to buy like Formula 409 and other cleaning solutions, and you could spend a lot of money buying multiples. So what I now use is Simple Green. It's just something you add water to. You don't have to use a lot, and it's used as a degreaser, a cleaner. I use it just about everything. So it's one item, you add water to it, and it's safe for the environment. It's biodegradable. So that's what I use now, just one cleaning solution. And for disinfecting my countertops, I do use disinfectant wipes, but other than that, Simple Green is all I use for my cleaning solution. The next item is DVDs and digital movies. Now, digital movies is where you can buy a movie online, like on Amazon, on wherever, but you just get a digital copy for your computer, tablet, whatever, and you can watch it on there. DVDs, I don't know if they're a thing of the past, but I used to buy tons of DVDs, and then I started buying digital movies. Now I don't buy any of them. One, for the purpose of our budget, but two, there are so many streaming services out there that I don't find it necessary to buy movies anymore, because a lot of streaming services have free movies and there's a lot of good movies out there. So there's no need for me to even buy these anymore. So DVDs and digital movies out of the budget. The next one is cable TV, and that goes in the same line as buying DVDs and digital movies. Because of all the streaming services out there, especially the ones that are free, it just is no longer affordable for us to have cable TV. It's expensive, and if we can get free movies on the streaming service, as long as we have Wi-Fi in the house, and if you have a Roku stick, it makes life much easier. So I don't know if you've seen my video on how to use a Roku stick and all the channels you can get with it and how to basically set it up. Make sure you check out that video. I'll leave that link to that video in the description below if you haven't watched it. But get yourself a Roku stick and enjoy some free streaming movies. So cable TV has been out of our lives for about 3 or 4 years now. Okay, so I think we're on the fifth item now, and this is upgrading phones or costly phone plans. It's something that we do not do, and a lot of this is just staying within our budget, but we've never been ones to get real expensive phones or costly phone plans. So we have been using the same phone for the past 4 to 5 years, and they still work. So especially for us that neither one of us like to talk on the phone, and the most we do is text each other if I'm not home, and there's no reason for us to have costly phones or even a costly phone plan. Our phone plans cost $15 a month for each one of us. And the phones, there's no need to upgrade them if they're still working. So upgrading phones or costly phone plans just isn't in the works for us, nor do we want it. So the next one is something you might not even think about, but frozen desserts. Now, groceries in general are just crazy in what it costs to get groceries, but I used to like to buy Sara Lee's cheesecakes, frozen cheesecakes, but they cost over $7 for this little thing you could probably eat in one sitting. So I started making my own no-bake cheesecakes at home with cream cheese, Cool Whip, and some sugar and a little bit of vanilla. And you could make that for half the price as buying a frozen one, and it tastes really good. So I can't remember the last time I bought a frozen Sara Lee cheesecake or any frozen dessert. That is just not something I do anymore. You could cut the price in half if you just make your own stuff at home. Now the next item is another grocery item, and that is steak. Who can afford to buy steak anymore? Now I'm not a big steak eater. That's more so for my husband Glenn. He likes steak, but even he would say there's no way we're paying that amount of money for a steak. So yeah, steak isn't in the works for us, but if you've seen the price of steak, I just can't believe it. So no longer do we buy steak unless it's an excellent sale, and that excellent sale, I don't even know what to look for on that price anymore. So steak is no longer in our budget, and unless it's gifted to us, or it's almost like a quarter of the price of what it is now. So steak is out. The next item is greeting cards. Now, I don't remember the last time I bought a greeting card, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't know when the last time I actually sent out a greeting card was. But if I were to do greeting cards, Christmas cards, birthday cards, whatever, I would actually just make my own cards. Now, it might not look as fancy as a 3D card or whatever, and you can certainly get cheap greeting cards at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, but I simply just take one of my photos, print it out in a 4x6 photo, and attach it to some cardstock and write my own note in there. For me, that's as greeting card as I get. So greeting cards are not something I buy anymore. Now the next item, I guess you can say, goes along with greeting cards. It's birthday and holiday gifts. Now the Christmas season has become so commercialized that everybody, it's like a competition to see who can buy the most or spend the most, but that's not something we do. We don't buy ourselves or each other a birthday gift or a Christmas gift because, to be honest, all through the year, we're buying stuff we want anyway. And if you were to ask me right now what I would want for my birthday or Christmas, I couldn't tell you because there's nothing I can think of that I would want. So it's just not something we've done in the past how many years, because we just buy stuff throughout the year. So birthday and holiday gifts is just not something for us right now. And the next item would be perfume, cologne, body spray, whatever you want to call it. Now, I used to be one that went to Bath and Body Works and bought my body spray and scented lotion and all that good stuff. But over time, it has gotten expensive, and it's just not something we do anymore. Now, over the summer, we were gifted body sprays and cologne for Glenn, and we enjoyed it. We really did. He wore it. he wore the cologne, I wore the body spray, and that's something that was nice. But in a few years, we have not went out to buy our own just because of the cost. Not only the cost, but with Glenn's health, he is not one that can stand scents. So in a close proximity, like within the house, he wouldn't be able to handle those smells. But if we're outside in the summertime, it was okay for each of us to wear it because we're outside and it doesn't affect them as much. So for health purposes and budget, perfumes and colognes aren't something we buy anymore. Okay, so the last thing would be a new vehicle. A new vehicle is very unaffordable right now, especially for us. And I honestly can't remember the last time I actually bought a brand new vehicle. It was probably the late 80s. And everyone knows they lose value as soon as they drive off the lot. But there's no way we can afford a monthly payment on a vehicle, and nor do we want like a high payment on a vehicle that's going to be as much as our mortgage payment. So new vehicles are out, and for used vehicles, we actually wouldn't want one that we would still have a payment on. The last few vehicles that we have purchased, we have paid cash right out for them. So we haven't had a vehicle payment in many years, nor do we want one, or could we afford one. So our current vehicle is a 2003 GMC Sierra. It runs great. There's no problems with it. It's just important to keep up the maintenance. So new vehicles, definitely out of the question for us. We could not afford it, nor would we want to. So no new vehicles for us. Okay, so those are the 11 things that were obvious to me that I don't buy anymore, or we don't buy anymore. So if you think of anything else that you don't buy anymore that's not on this list, drop it down on the comments. I'd like to see what everybody else is not buying anymore, and see if we have some of the most common things that we no longer pay for as a whole. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to some of you, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video and my other videos. I appreciate all the support and the comments. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe. And share the channel with anyone you might think would enjoy it. But with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.